all sorts of wacky and wild, but we've gone with very standard ones here.
Can't beat the classics, that's for sure. You know, you master those basics and you'll see the fruits of your labor, you know, come to fruition here as we get it started on off here. No barriers going down just yet. Almost a kill from WEEE onto Fudgy Waffles there, who is now our new little midfielder for Demon's Raw for now. So that's pretty cool to see Fudgy getting their time in the spotlight here to play for Demon's Raw. But hey, honestly, WEEE's got a couple of good players on there as well, so it's not going to be any slouch either, as we do have the final barrier going down for the side of Demon's Raw. Advantage here given to WEEE's, which they have Weeb. Weeb as their short name. Luckily, we have no Weebs in the chat, but if you do, you might be happy to see WEEE's take that first point away from Demon's Raw. Look at that. First blood to the Bees, the Weebs.
Yeah, I'm feeling good too. I remember to swap in the new mod pack, and you see the new WEEE's logo there. Hopefully this team will perform better than their logo performed in the popularity polls. Unfortunately, dead last. All good though, because right now they're dominating. A barrier already taken, and Zaxmack looking as comfortable as ever here. But Snake, of course, that guy is scary when it comes to the high-stakes tournaments. Pass splitter down, 2 barriers down, and with Gumi running up, it is absolutely scary if you're a WEEEE in the net.
For sure it is. Zaxmack going to spend that flip as their final resource right now in the hands of Carmine, trying to get it past Fudgy Waffles. Does successfully, trying as much as they can to get it into the hands of WEEE to get a nice dash punch, but we do have an approach here from Gumi onto Zaxmack. Nice wait though. Actually going to survive that situation, sending Gumi right on back there with that eject button. So we're going to get a little bit of offense push on the bottom side here, though, into the hands of Zaxmack, but we do have a kill there from WEEE, slaying in the 2v3 here. Let's see if WEEE can get this last barrier here. Really crazy clutch pass there from Fudgy Waffles to keep this one alive, as well as getting that piercing shot right on through the team, but they do finally get that barrier here in the hands of WEEE. Gets the dash punch right through the center. Nicely done. Fudgy and Gumi covering just a little too high and a little too low, and it's going to be 2-0 right now for the Bees.
And if you can notice, you'll see a little bit of those momentum boots on Zaxmack here. Buffed once again, strong once again. And we're seeing Zaxmack just glide across the map right now without any speed awakenings. It is looking quite impressive because that momentum boots is not being hit, but a misstrike will mean a barrier goes down, equalizing. Now the damage focus is on that Juliet, and if you focus down that Juliet, you have a much better time playing your game. But Gumi's also low. Gumi's taken out!
Big, huge situation here. Snake can't keep control of the ball. This 2v3 is going to commence right now as we have Zaxmack passing it on to Carmine, but Snake trying his best to interrupt WEEE with the punch. Nice primary over Fudgy. Gets the stun, gets the ball, gets the point, gets the set. 3-0 to start here for WEEE's. Kind of big. Zaxmack getting the first awakening pick here, though, and honestly, it's like kind of shades of cakes, right? Like taking momentum boots on Juno. Really, everyone would always stick by the eject button, but now we're seeing it change a little bit.
Yeah, and picking up prime time, a lot more cooldowns available is so important. We saw the power of prime time in the previous set where it made the matches go an entire hour, it felt like. And that adrenaline rush too, right? Even though WEEE doesn't have those explosive 1-2 punches, heavy impact, still has that bulk up. And that adrenaline rush is a huge win condition. Get a KO on Gumi, get a KO on anyone, and convert that into so much potential in the play.
Absolutely, definitely changes the game here, especially with bulk up too, like you mentioned there. Giving a little bit extra power, helping that out. Yo, Carmine, nice outplay there for just a moment. It's going to grab them, the top barrier. WEEE has no energy left to survive, but does get a little bit of a lifeline heal there from Carmine. Nice wait again from Zaxmack and wins the situation with a strike primary into the flurry. But we have a nice defense there from Gumi to hold the line there. Incoming Zaxmack with a primary, trying to reinforce the goal, but doesn't seem to get the barrier just yet there, though. Nice little self-dribble. A nice little strike there, too. I like getting right on through the team, allowing their own team to readjust. But here comes the adrenaline rush. WEEE gets a kill, and now is way faster, gets their cooldowns back, and this is going to be just a rough time for Demon's Raw.
Yeah, it's looking rough. Another KO. Oh. Snake caught trying to help defend. And WEEE in the NASL debut match is being the X Factor, is being dominant right here against Demon's Raw, of all teams.
Almost a save there, but it's going to be a good dribble there from Carmine. Flip right into the face of WEEE, who keeps their own flip as well, which is going to be another huge resource for possibly grabbing a kill even this point here which might just snowball the rest of this game. I mean, Adrenaline Rush is really just a crazy awakening. Carmine, with the same play as before, does end up getting the ball past Snake for just a moment. Again, there it is. The flip spent by WEEE, activating Adrenaline Rush, which is really good value, honestly, there, as Zaxmack is going to move up and try to help WEEE get this last barrier. But Asher, the demon, as we just saw in the last 2 sets there, really making it happen, especially some of the awakenings here, the bulk up 2 really helping out. But man, they do end up defending that barrier, as WEEE is going to have to retreat there, grab a little bit of healing, but honestly not too bad. Even uses a couple of resources to save that top barrier for just a moment, but not long enough, as the ball is going to roll on over into another barrier. But again, here we have another power play here for WEEB. Let's see if they can make a advantage of it here.
Yeah, this time it was Zaxmack, but Fudgy Waffles rising to the occasion in the midfield, snipes it in, evens up the set. And, well, you can't give Demons Raw too many openings, right? They'll score on those, at least.
That's fair. There has never been a more... this is the job for a stealth situation I've ever seen in my life. She takes advantage of it perfectly, as Zaxmack, almost 1 degree off there, basically, to just get around. But strikes their own barrier, no problem. Going to take one of the opponents as well. WEE's on the front lines there, but we actually have Fudgy Waffles win a situation there against the dash punch, which is going to keep that barrier alive as well. Gumi going to try to get the ball right on through the bottom side. Incoming flurry, but Fudgy Waffles jumps right past it, close to the edge there. WEEE was sniffing out another kill as well. Snake also looking for a kill, but Carmine, aware of that, also gets an evade of their own. Gumi has a flip here, see if they possibly need it, but going to move on to the front side, maybe use it offensively, which is usually where the flips are used. But WEEE grabs another kill, activating this Adrenaline Rush. But oh my gosh, the flip, the strike, great angle from Fudgy Waffles, kind of saves the play there, including keeping Gumi's flip for themselves. Huge value in that situation there for Fudgy.
Yeah, Fudgy's really getting it done when everyone on Demon's Raw is getting dash punches, getting KO'd. You need to find those goals quick before the Adrenaline Rush can come into play. And if you're Fudgy, you have to watch out, because WEEE is looking for that dash punch flip here. Doesn't quite get any offensive pressure in the corner, but still, it is such a big threat when WEE's on the field.
Absolutely. I mean, dash punch flip is an insane amount of knockback. Great strike there from Gumi to get it right on through that blob. Snake almost had it, but that's just way too many strikes, and there it goes. WEEE once again, dash punch flip is going to take them right on off the board. See if Gumi can survive the situation here with the Giga Blast. Moves up to try to win the strike board, but nice stun there from WEEE. Dash strike flip from Zaxmack. Gets the blob on in there, but the 3 do end up surviving the situation. A punch, a flurry. It's a tough situation, but Gumi does actually survive. Carmine actually gets the flip to survive and hold the ball at the same time. Gumi 1 second away, but the setup there from the drone was just, oh man, that was an insane amount of pressure. I mean, it was like Soren angle or bust, and that is not even going to be a guarantee in that spot.
Yeah, it was impressively defended by Demon's Raw, but the coverage was perfect from WEE's Little Bees. It was either Gumi sends it right back into the clump, or he has to defend 5 more times, or he tries to get the play on the top side, and covering that with the Now Mine is exactly what you want to do as that midfielder here. And once again, WEEE is just playing so patiently, looking for one misstep from Snake, and no energy available for Snake, but doesn't quite get enough knockback here, and that means the offense continues for Demon's Raw with both barriers down. A big opportunity for Demons to turn this one around, but another KO comes through for WEEE.
Yep, they do find Snake staggered completely. WEEE takes perfect advantage of that dash punch. It will still combo on a staggered opponent and will knock them quite far. Flip right onto the front lines, gets the barrier. Zaxmack catches the ball nicely, almost at the flip of their own. Incoming flurry. Gumi just can't get the strike in time. It's a really tough situation when Juliet is just approaching with that flurry, but there you go. WEE's Little Bees taking the second set. Here's Zaxmack again, as your MVP is going to grab whatever they want. Lots of fun stuff on the board here. We saw Team Player go a little crazy in the last couple of series.
Yeah, it did. There's so much on the table here, and that Juliet's going to be looking scary, but the fight or flight is the focus. Can't let the enemy midfielder have that. And Team Player, of course, you mentioned it, on the midfielder. It just opens up so many angles of attack. But look at WEEE, right? Has the bulk up, has Might of the Colossus, can get power from either size or stagger here. So WEEE is shaping up to be versatile, and now just got Monumentalist.
That is indeed the thing that happened. Monumentalist for now is going to be possibly catastrophic there for Demon's Raw, but Snake does grab a little size. Asher size is some of the best awakening combinations there you can get. We'll see if that has any other effect on the board here, though, as WEEE grabs a kill while Doomy is trying their best to defend that bottom side. really good advantage. We can have a bunch of cooldowns left as well. Here it comes. Dash punch is already up. You can see Adrenaline Rush reducing cooldown by 10 seconds. I mean, that is literally primary, and that is like 85% of that secondary, and maybe like 60% of secondary. But still, all your cooldowns are just about back after that. It's like you're so enticed to spend your cooldowns and resources getting kills because, I mean, they just come back and you get 40% speed. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is so scary here, and WEEE is playing so well with it as well, right? That's what happens when someone who is known for one character gets that one character. Kind of makes you think maybe a ban was in order, perhaps, but we having the flip back already. Getting hit a lot also means the energy generation is way up, and dash punch flips are back on the menu.
They are indeed on the menu, almost sniffing out Gumi there for a second. You know, honestly, they could take a secondary like approach there and just try to attack the person who's getting the ball. There it is. Flip dash punch actually gets the ball, but then ends up getting a crazy boys angle. They're gonna try to defend it. They end up finding a kill instead, losing their own barrier at 3v1 right now. Carmine has flip also if they really want to spend it to get it on in here. They're gonna fight for the top lane. Incoming Monumentalist. All right, they do spend the flip. Gonna try to get past Snake right on through. It is not even close to reactable. Can't blame Snake for that one. So, man. Wee's Little Bees 1 point away here from just taking this first game like easily. They're not even sweating.
Yeah, and that's what happens when Wee's comfortable, right? It's all about comfort when you're a player in your first NASL match, and to WEEE, this is just another game. It's just another match. Name tags off, mental completely stable, rock solid, getting in there, and both barriers already down.
Yeah, really nice from Carmine there. Good positioning to make sure to block that one. Okay, hands the ball over to Zaxmack. Snake can't find a dribble here. Nice angle on the pop from Atlas Lab here. Carmine get the Monumentalist to keep the ball in here. Fudgy Waffles taking the corner to see if they can defend here, though. Snake has a flip to maybe get it past Carmine if they find an opening on the goal. Zaxmack running as fast as they can with those momentum boots. Decides to get a little mix-up on the bottom side here, though. Snake trying to poach with that flip. We might be sniffing out another one of these kills here. No flip to go with it, though. Incoming flip from Snake. Yeah, Zaxmack. Possible minor, a little bit huge overcommitment there with Snake being able to stop the ball and, you know, make themselves pretty invulnerable at that point. But that is a resource down here for Snake, and they might be able to still close up this this set.
Yeah, I was right about to touch on that. The bright side is, right, that flip is gone from Snake, so you don't have to worry about that brawler inevitability coming in, that scoring threat. But Fudgy Waffles might be the scoring threat here. The Estelle can score after all. But WEEE grabs the core, WEE's in position, the flip's available, all it takes is one more pass, and there's the punch to take out Gumi.
I can't say anything more than I respect Demon's Raw for just being like, okay, everyone kill WEEE right now. He's in the corner, but man, they just couldn't stop him. They could not stop him, and Gumi loses their life over it. Again, respect to Gumi, who tried to, like, they kind of lost the barrier there, but they really just tried to make a play. You know, it was just time to see if they could get a little bit more involved in that one, because something was not really connecting that game. Either way, though, yeah, nice plays there from WEE's Little Bees. I mean, we literally did the thing that you needed to do with Juliet. Play the game, survive, grab Adrenaline Rush, punch the crap out of the opponents. Well done.
Yeah, it was really just a game where we played Juliet as comfortably as ever. It is beautiful to see, and I am in awe that it was allowed to go through.
Yeah, I mean, look at these numbers. It's actually so funny. Like, we 66 redirects. It's like, but 12 kills is insane amount of downtime for the opponent. So it's like, yeah, you know, getting the kills when you need to, ignoring the ball when you need to. Honestly, that's, well, you know, well done there. And so they're going to take that first one here, and we're going to move on over to the next map, which I kind of forgot already. What is it going to be? It's going to be Taiko?
Yeah.
Nice. Taiko Temple, which is, you know, another really good map for Juliet if they somehow want to let that one through. You know, everyone's kind of hanging out on the side lanes. It's really tough to get past the drum when you're kind of 1v1 there. Sometimes you have to switch lanes, so we'll see some adjustments here that Demon's Raw might want to make, possibly in the ban phase, you know, incoming for that.
Yeah, and WEE's Little Bees just got notice. They're breaking the trend. They're picking red side.
Ooh.
Okay. Probably not the most optimal decision, but, you know, might as well. You won.
You did win. You actually just You actually just won. I wonder what adjustments they'll be making, because like we are probably definitely going to be seeing a Juliet ban here. They might have recognized like, oh yeah, we is kind of like the best with Juliet. Let's see if we can knock him off to a different character and see what comes up here. They might find themselves playing against WEEEE or maybe Rasmus or something. So maybe they could steal another one of those characters and possibly force Wee onto a tertiary. Very interested to see what they're going to make of that in this next game.
Yeah, heading on to Clarion. The draft is coming up in just a second, so we won't have to wait here. It's Manu 1-2 punch. Quite interesting. I do think that Juno will be prioritized like it was in the previous game, but also now getting a lot of power here on both the map and the Awakening start. It is looking quite good for Wee's Little Bee's comfort, I think.
Yeah, quite possibly here. Monumentalist, like you said, definitely enables a lot of like characters that you don't normally think about when it comes to banning. Like now is just good in general, but it's like, oh, big trigger Monumentalist now, maybe a ban, but it's like, okay, 1-2 punch is also pretty scary for like a bunch of different characters. So I think with some kind of it's like I feel like 1-2 punch is kind of a power awakening, and then like Monumentalist is just this like utility that can become like really scary, get out of control.
They banned
So
Juliet.
okay, fair. Banning Juliet, and then banning Era. We saw Era banned a couple different times already
This era
in the start of
character,
NASL.
on this patch, it is ridiculous. She has
Is she this
Kazan
Era?
hook, basically. It comes out instantly. You can react to clears with it. You can react to shots with it.
Oh shit.
It is
Okay,
it
wait,
is a
that's
little
so sick.
crazy.
All right. Well, they're banned, and Juliet is banned, so we shall see possibly. Okay, there's your Juno pick, like you mentioned before. Yeah, I'm thinking probably like X for Wii, right? Like X is like still pretty good in my opinion. I think I've seen Wii play X a couple different times, so that would be my guess for Wii if they want to start dash punching. Still, if they want to keep dash punching as much as they want, they can certainly do that with X.
Yeah, they're definitely doable here. We'll have to see what the side of Wee's Little Bees choose to lock in, and you're absolutely correct. That X
Oh yeah.
immediately locked in, as well as the now on a Manu start
Oh
might as well.
yeah.
I do think the Juno will have a decent time in this match, but of course, with this start, with these awakenings, with how Wee's Little Bees are going about the draft, they're getting a lot of value out of that second and third pick, the R1, R2.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I really like the X now. If you have to now deal with this like pretty strong Juno, but it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, well, if you leave the best thing, then you can get like two really, really good things instead of like having it kind of schmixed that way. And we do have Monumentalist Finny, which is sometimes a damn catastrophe when you are the goalie and trying to hold barriers. Sometimes that gets a little out of hand, and of course, our classic Zentaro, and followed up by Kai for Wee's Little Bees there. Pretty strong teams on both sides here. I'd say that they both have pretty strong X factors here, right? Like 1-2 punch X, pretty strong. Monumentalist now is kind of going to control this entire board. But like the X factor of like Finny dropping the big finish on your barriers could just take all the barriers. Your goal is almost always open. And then Juno 1-2 punch, not even really needing overtime is like crazy fast clears. It's like having team player all the time, throwing Junos all over the board with team player. It's crazy. So I think this is really high power level for both teams.
Yeah, I do like the fact that Wee's Little Bees have assembled a bit of a composition that lets them rotate very, very freely. A lot of
That's
the
the
strength of their
slab.
team is the fact that they can kind of play a double midfield, like we saw in the previous game, and flexibly play up. And they got a comp that could do that again this game on the other side. I wonder how exactly Demon's Raw's picks are gonna shake out. I think I see. The thing is, I see Gumi and Fudgy both on the Juno quite a bit, right? So it really could go either
That's
way.
true. I would imagine in this spot, like they might, like I feel like I've seen Fudgy play Juno maybe. I don't know, maybe more. Maybe I've only seen it more, but okay, looks like the pick there is for Gumi. That's pretty interesting. So Gumi on the Finny goalie, which is fair. It's like if you picked Finny forward, then you're really just being like, yeah, we're gonna big finish these barriers the entire game, and it's gonna be like, yeah, whatever on that. But then Fudgy taking the Juno, that's Fudgy, I think I've seen on the Juno a little bit more often, just me seeing it. So, gonna see how Gumi makes this Finny goalie work on this map here, though. Obviously, all the picks are very obvious as far as the Awakening starts.
Yeah, and your hunches have been right so far, right? You said Fudgy a little more. It was Fudgy, you said the X for WEEE, and this is the real test, right? With the comfort pick gone, WEEE will have to really prove himself off of comfort.
Yeah, I was impressed to see them play very like calm, controlled in this first NASL game. And in general, they'll probably continue the same thing. It's just X is harder to play for like the first 2 sets, right? Oh man, big bell ringer is going to make me eat my words immediately, as just primary into Kai is going to send that ball right on off of that drum into another right on through. That was a little bit of a crazy situation there for Demons Raw. They're probably thinking, okay, mega fluke, you know, we're gonna just keep ourselves together this one. Although, I mean, the more goals that X participates in the early game is kind of the end of the world, as we do see we knock them right on off of the barrier, getting a lot more experience as well. Already getting a power play. I mean, Wee's Little Bees is just doing everything they need to. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Big Finish tries to get something done, but WEE's still living. WEE's still strike warring 3 entire people in the bottom corner of the net. And WEE's Little Bees look on pace to 2-0 Demons Raw.
That is so fire. His WEE's Little Bees is just being like, yo, I'm so in this. And they're, I mean, instantly grabs both of those barriers here. Incoming Oni's Blade from Snake, trying to make things happen, backed up by Fudgy Waffles, although Carmine is really holding the line there, though. Strike War losses not actually enough to get the barrier. Now in the hands of WEEE, who's going to fly on forward there, but no extra dash range is going to keep Gumi alive in that situation. Zaxmack holding both of these barriers as well, going to clear to the top side, ends up holding that barrier as well, even continues to hold it, spends the flip to keep it alive straight into the hands of WEEE, who just kind of has an easy strike right on through Gumi, who might have tried to play towards the bottom in case a clear or an opening came up. But man, WEE's Little Bees, oh man, Carmine ended up getting first pick, which is kind of, I mean, definitely worse than WEEE getting it.
Low-key, it might be better because of how these Awakenings are shaping up, right? There are enough decent picks for WEEE to not go without a good pick. And of course, like, you're getting that extra special deny early. Size denied away from WEEE in turn, but WEE's going for the really, really long-term skilling here. The sparks are coming in, and it is looking scary because the Awakenings that Demons Raw have picked up look kind of bad. Other than Missile Prop, which is low-key kind of good if Fudgy Waffles is used to it, but like, other than that, their draft kind of sucks.
Yeah, I have to assume that like a strike primary with these 2 Awakenings will probably cause a red ball immediately, and there goes WEEE. Just X Maximus grabs another kill onto Fudgy here, though, and just making a whole lot of problems for the enemy team. Carmine tries to get to the top line with that barrage. Insta Giga Blast right into the face of Gumi, although it's going to result in a barrier of their own. Nice back pass. Actually love that one, causing Fudgy Waffles to spend a couple extra resources to keep control of the ball there. Gumi triple taking that away. Nice, knocking WEEE all over the place. Make sure that they have no control of the ball here. Big Finish sends it to the top side into the hands of Zaxmack and Carmine. Almost grabs a kill. Snake could not find that one just yet. Fudgy tries to bullet dribble it to themselves. A triple take required to keep the ball out of WEE's hands there. Flip from Zaxmack onto the top side into the hands of Carmine. A bell ringer sends it on over. That Giga Blast could have made it happen, but way out of range in that spot. Although the Missile Pop you just mentioned, Fudgy gets it on through. It did not even hit the blob. It just, the primary went long enough. Wow, that was really good from Fudgy.
Yeah, that's the power of Missile Prop. I think you see it more often on goalies because it's awkward to use in the midfield, but if you're spacing like Fudgy to play for those interactions, to send slimes into the enemy goal box and playing relatively defensively, kind of double midfielding with Gumi, then you get a lot of value out of Missile Prop on that Juno. The issue is they're dying.
They are undying. It's actually been a power play of almost every single point here for WEE's Little Bees, although Zaxmack has not been holding the barriers as hard as they possibly could be in these 2v3s, but they are definitely trying to make the plays happen. Incoming Big Finish. Zaxmack can try to clear it away from Fudgy Waffles to do successfully, although the slice and dice here from Snake almost gets the dashing strike. Gumi gonna try to get the ball on over, but man, the Giga Blast from Carmine, the 1-2 punch Giga Blast. I don't think it would red core there without that extra power, and man, that one's going to sink that one right through Gumi. A really shocking situation when the core goes that fast because of something like 1-2 punch. You got to check the awakenings again when that happens.
It's a 1-2 punch start, and every 1-2 punch taker is clip farming right now, from Fudgy Waffles to Carmine, and it is ridiculous. But you know, we's just taking both barriers. No clip farming required, just the basic strike reset into the midst of everything. Almost taken out here, bounce around the map, but still staying alive is the brawler, finally taken out. But now there's a flip here, a back pass, baits out the flip from Fudgy as well, and Carmine maintains possession here. One barrier gonna go down thanks to Fudgy's offense, but overall, WEEEEE not really losing too much out of that.
Yeah, I really like that attempt there from Carmine to try to get that one off the drum there. Fudgy taking the full front line with those blobs, but we do have Wee getting a kill onto the staggered Snake, and they try to get the flip. Gumi just a little bit out of range, and man, what a godsend for WEEEEE. They get the goal, and they spend Gumi's flip in that situation. Snake, 0 stacks of Prize Fighter right now, and if they had Prize Fighter, they'd probably have 8 stacks right now.
You know, Kai'Noob's legacy is becoming even stronger right now as Demons RAAHH play this game, unfortunately. We continuing to dominate the goal box right now. It is looking dire as Carmine, all he has to do is pick off a few strikes, give Wee a few opportunities, and honestly just have fun, because there's so much room that Zaxback and Carmine have to play with here.
That's facts. I mean, you can see the levels right now, right? Carmine level 6 is actually enabling Wee, like, pretty heavily right now. Wee has done a pretty good job of getting a couple of kills, a couple of goals, but, like, Carmine is all over the map and really just getting their hands on the ball every minute that they can. Snake cannot find that slice and dice, gets the ball right on past Gumi. Carmine once again with the hands on the ball, trying to dash punch here. Wee can't seem to maintain it. Okay, they do survive that strike war against Wee. Spends the X Maximus, wins that situation against Fudgy Waffles. Has flip now, is way more deadly than before. We'll see if Zaxmack can hold the line. Although Carmine again getting in there as far as they can. Wee does spend the flip, tries to kill Gumi, who is really low right now. They might be able to grab a kill, possibly with a Giga Blast or 2.
Yeah, Gumi could be taken out any second now. Has the flip now. Could use it at a very necessary moment right now. Sends it right through Wee. Sends it around the world, but it goes back into the hands of Carmine, and therefore the hands of Wee, who follows up on the detonation of the big finish perfectly. And that's another set win for WEEEEE.
Oh man, ain't that something? That's another set win for WEEEEE against Demons RAAHH. I mean, that's 5 in a row, is it not? Against Demons RAAHH. I mean, they are just actually putting this game away. Carmine first pick once again. Lots of fun stuff on the board. Opts to take the health away from any other opponent, although they do have a little bit of bulk up action if they want to deal with it, but I'm not sure if they're going to go too defensively here. They didn't end up going for any of the healing, so I'm not sure what Demons RAAHH is looking to do right now. I mean, they do end up getting Super Surge Zen, which kind of transforms the character into God, but I'm not sure if it's enough right now. He didn't get any more health. Yeah,
and Wee continues being Wee right now. Dash punching despite not being on Juliet. A lot harder to do, a lot more telegraphed on X, but he still gets it done for the moment and just striking precisely for the barriers and almost the goal with the bull rush. Almost staggered, but almost is not enough as Carmine gets set up for a perfect Giga Blast. And now WEEEEE is 2 goals away from the sweep.
Yeah, you know, I guess Carmine ended up taking the Reptile Remedy to keep themselves alive from any extra damage. I mean, Juno does do a lot of extra damage when she's doing Make It Rain. You know, you got to step on all these things, keep yourself up. But yeah, even now is help enabling this X2 when we're in some close quarters. Actually, got the Monumentalist to go with it. And it's just a lot of extra damage and a lot of extra healing and a lot of extra speed here for Wee. The triple take can't seem to make it happen. Wee ends up winning the strike war against Fudgy, but not against Gumi in that spot. But the Giga Blast is going to be enough to take it. Flips right onto the top side, or right on the front side, smashes Gumi in the face with that bell ringer. Has a strike to back it up if needed. And there we are, man. 1 point away from 6 sets in a row against Demons RAAHH. A clean 2-0 could be on the way.
Yeah, and we're talking a lot about Wee, but Carmine's Giga Blasts have been doing everything. They've been taking barriers, they've been scoring goals, they've been setting everything up, and Wee's finally down. The Missile Prop Juno getting it done here, but it might be too little too late as the barrier goes down. Zaxback has flipped, Carmine's approaching, And it looks like they're not even close to taking the barrier on Wee's Little B's side. The double midfield is coming into full force with how much possession they have. They force out a flip as well. And Gumi, no barriers remaining. They're in such a bad spot right now.
Yep, control given to Wee's Little Bees right now. Snake's a little bit weak and only can get weaker. Gets smashed against the drum as well. A big 2v3 situation. The power play for Wee's Little Bees. Oh, outplays Fudgy Waffles, was just going to try to hold the top line. Maybe that's all they could just do with that spot. Although Wee's going to try to get their hands on the ball here, though. Even Zach's not going to move up as much as they can with that Monumentalist. The big finish, though, is going to grab that barrier, and this could possibly be what Demon's Rod need to bring this one back. Although the ball is going to end up going in, because we do have Snake getting a kill onto Zach Smack now. Definitely has, I think, the lowest health pool of everyone. Maybe like Octavia or something, possibly sharing it. But either way, here comes Demon's Raw. They got a point. They need a set.
They need a lot, and Snake is very squishy, right? You mentioned Super Surge doing a lot for the Zentaro, but one thing it doesn't do is help with that survivability. Can still be bursted down here. Needs to be very, very careful as the big finish comes through. Oh, really well navigated by Fudgy Waffle, sending it around everyone. The big finish by Gumi getting tons of value there. And I think Demon's Raw, they're playing a lot more methodically. If they can avoid WEEE getting in their face too early, they have a lot of room to play with.
Yeah, Snake really trying to keep the ball at least at the midfield line and try not to let it get too far into Gumi's hands. Although, here we go. That was close. You know, Carmine saves that one. Incoming big finish. Although, gets it out of there with the help of the barrage. Now, WEEE has a chance to win a couple of strike wars against the Fudgy Waffles here. Gumi going to stay at the center and make sure not get doubled. They do lose the top one there. Gumi has their chance to get this one out, although WEEE is going to spend the X Maximus. Nice flip here from Zach Smack to keep them alive. Definitely positioning for that situation to happen. Although now they're set their sights onto WEEE. Might knock it against the drum. Snake just kind of wins a situation, wins interaction against Zach Smack. Gets it right around, and Demon's Raw possibly clawing themselves out of this crazy deficit.
Yeah, they're still the Demons after all. They are still an incredibly dominant team historically, and although they're missing the piece that really put in most of the work there, it's still doable. But the issue is WEEE. If he is enabled for even a moment, if the two barriers are down there in such a bad spot and WEE's in position, Carmine's there, Snake flips it away, but that's only one barrier taken. WEE's not KO'd just yet, and if WEE's alive, it is so scary to play for Gumi.
Yeah, I guess we do not have a lifeline just yet. Here comes the big finish, though. Smashes Carmine, but they do have a defense here from Zach Smack. Although, hands the ball right to WEEE. Gumi actually keeping themselves nice and calm in that situation. WEEE tries to win a strike war against double player, but cannot in that spot. Is really staggered with their last breath. Tries to get a kill onto Gumi. Although now, it's possibly curtains for WEEE. Oh, it almost could have been curtains for that game, as WEEE is not given up just yet. In fact, it's unstaggered in that spot. Still a barrier showing up for Wee's Little Beast, but the Giga Blast from Carmine actually sends it in. Insane Giga Blast, and could have reinforced that even with a flip if they got closer. Wee's Little freaking Bees, man. 6 sets in a row against Demon's Raw.
6 sets in a row, and off the back of Carmine's Giga Blast so many times, so precise, deserved in-game MVP. And honestly, I'm down to say that he was out-of-game MVP for this one as well. Just a ridiculous performance from Wee's Little Bees here, and Demon's Raw, they need to take some time to synergize, because the loss of Kainoob, the loss of potentially the greatest player in the history of competitive Omega Strikers, it is a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely breaks a little bit of the synergies that they had going here, though. Although I do think that they're all way good enough to, you know, make up for that a little bit later, though. It couldn't happen just yet this time, although when Wee's Little Bees came out full force, didn't give Demon's Raw a chance to adapt to what might have been going on or what their strategy was, although their strategy was kind of WEEE punches the opponent, and they did that pretty damn well. What a crazy upset, honestly. I mean, well-deserved. I mean, all we did was see it. We literally watched it. It wasn't like all this ball stuff. It was WEEE gets the kills. Carmine gives ball to WEEE, and I mean, that's how you win. That's how you win. You put the ball in the goal.
That's how you win. And we also proved, right? It's not just a Juliet. The X can get it done too. So very, very good moment there for the brawler of Wee's Little Bees. And with that, this series concludes in the same amount of time that it took for 1/3 of the previous series. But we're going to head to a very quick break. And when we come back, we'll have the Bozo Bunch versus Bun Bun Bonanza. A lot of bees. We just got out of the Bs and we're headed to even more. Anyway, goodbye.